You know when you're stuck in a class and every word your professor is saying is coming in one ear then out the other? Then you think to yourself, can I even use this stuff in the real world? I'm looking at you, mathematics. The sad reality is that most students just learn to pass the subject most of the time. But today we will be looking into a successful hustler's life on how they were able to reach that kind of status. Mathematics in the day-to-day life. Meet Chris, an ambitious working businessman in the industry. He has an upcoming busy week. So let's follow Chris and see how he makes the best out of his productive week. Chris versus salary negotiations. Logic. Chris has to go through a salary negotiation with a new company he was able to land on. He is determined to get this job as it is an upgrade from his previous one. Driven with determination, he writes down and rehearses possible answers he can use for the interview. On the day of the interview, he remains calm and composed, his answers professional while not coming across as pretentious, pure focus on his face. He picks his words well like he's playing a serious round of Yu-Gi-Oh! The company was impressed by his display of professionalism, nodding at him approvingly. But the duel doesn't end there. Chris wants to enter this company with a decent starting salary. With that being said, he knows his place. Chris has humility after all. So with a patient heart, he accepts the starting salary of $5,000 from his manager with the knowledge of if he stays long enough in the company, his salary increases every 6th month. The manager may feel like they won this battle, but Chris knows better. He leaves satisfied with the outcome. The only problem is that Chris has just realized that the headquarters of the company is too far for walking distance. Chris versus transportation. Efficiency. The company hired Chris as their employee and every day he commutes to work and back. Because of this, he calculates how much money he would have to spend to buy himself a new car. Before Chris purchases a new car, he makes sure to prioritize the amount of money he has to spend for the down payment, the price of gas it will cost him in numbered days, and the number of years it will last him. This is for him to figure out the minimum cost of buying a new car. To do this, Chris compares two car models, A and B. He tries to find the cost of a model that will satisfy his desired characteristics taken from both models A and B. After comparing these, he finally finds a model that is nearest to his budget, a car that will, for at most 15 years, last him and cost him $150 worth of gas for every 150 days. His minimum cost is $1,712. Chris versus car dealerships. Game theory. After all that, he sits back and thinks, I deserve a car, because he has that Dalisayan blood in him. Naturally, he wants the best deal out there for his dream car. He calls every dealership that offers his ideal car within his town and narrows down his options with each dealer that gives him a lower price at a certain amount of time. Chris finds his ideal car dealership that offered him a low price for his car. Only problem is that the car salesman wants to negotiate face-to-face. Chris, being savvy about negotiations and haggling, wants the deal done over the phone. Thank God that Chris is hard-headed as he didn't back down on his decision. He makes it known that other car dealerships can offer lower than them and that it's settled over the phone. The car dealer falls into the Dalisayan smart play. They agree on an over-the-phone kind of negotiation and promises Chris the previous low price they mentioned before so Chris wouldn't transfer to another car seller.
Chris versus his interns. Efficiency. In Chris's first week in his job, he was tasked by his boss to assign 4 new interns of the company to 4 different locations to sell their products. To be able to do this, Chris tested each intern to different locations to find out which intern fits best for each location. He then lets them down in the table to find out how much each intern sells and to find out where the company would gain the most profit. Luckily, Chris remembered his topic in mathematics and assignment problems where he could optimize the total profits his interns could make. After doing this, he found out that he should assign intern A to location Y, intern B to location W, intern C to location X, while intern D in location Z. Chris versus real estate negotiations. Game theory. Chris now has a job and a car, so he decided to start looking for a new home to live in. Yes, a new home. I told you, he's Lasallian. He contacts real estate agents that can help him look for the house he wants, which is a 2-story house that isn't too far from his workplace and has a garage to park his car in. Chris eventually found the house he wanted to purchase at a certain price. Later, the real estate agent contacts him and announces that he is in a multi-offer situation where he is given 3 choices. First is to stick with his initial offer. Second is to withdraw his offer. And lastly, he would offer a higher price or overbid in order to attain the house he wanted. Now, Chris pondered on the options given to him and took note that the winner would probably be the one who overbids. If he sticks with his original offer, there is a possibility that another buyer would offer a higher price and win the house. But if he withdraws his offer, he might lose the chance of getting the house he wanted. On the other hand, overbidding would raise his chance of winning the house, but he would be overpricing the house and spend more than it's worth. Bearing in mind the pros and cons of each option, Chris was able to compare and choose the best option while also taking into account the other bidders' possible actions. Out of the 3 options, sticking with his original offer was the best choice. If the other bidder overbids and wins, Chris would not be upset since he calculated the best choice and did everything correctly. But if the other bidder withdraws, Chris would be able to buy the house at the price he offered and not overbid. Chris versus the stock market. Finance. Upon checking, Chris saw that most of his money is just sleeping in the bank for years now. Chris doesn't want to miss out opportunities to increase his financial worth, so he invested a portion of his money on the stock market. He looks for blue chip stocks that he will invest in. He shortlists a few good companies based on their financial ratios like price to earnings ratio, current ratio, dividend yields, and stock ROI. He wanted to invest in the financial sector. Chris is choosing between BPI, BDO, and SECB. With this information in mind, Chris decided to invest in Security Bank Corporation with enough confidence that his investment will generate profits. This is because the company's price to earnings ratio can be ideal for a shorter period of time than the other 2 stocks. In addition, the earnings per share ratio is quite high, giving the impression that the stock is profitable. Chris also invested in SECB because among the 3 stocks, it has the lowest price to sales ratio, and in general, the lower the price to sales ratio, the better the value is. As we followed the story of Chris's life, we were able to see how mathematics, such as simple logic and decision making, is constantly present in our daily lives. Without realizing it, mathematics became a part of our lives and continues to help us survive in this ever-changing world.